Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this full panel shaker card using the Rabbit Hole Designs new Mid-Century Modern 2 stencil set. And this is a set of 4 stencils. So what I did first was placed it on a white cardstock panel, and I used the first stencil in this set, the snowflake stencil, and I lined it up at the top of my panel, and then I ink blended Distress Oxide ink in tumbled glass through those little snowflakes. And then once I was done with that, I switched to stencil number 2, and these stencils are clearly labeled with the name of the stencil and the number, and then on the top right hand side of the stencil it has the word top on it, so you can line them up quite easily. So here I am getting a number 2 on, and I will line it. See, it says there across it, and then at the top it says top. So I line up number 2 on there, and then I ink blend salvaged patina through that. And I love this combination. It's a really pretty, subtle, non-traditional Christmas color palette. So I'm just going to ink blend all these large dots in the salvaged patina using my cottontail blending brush. I have both the large ones and the little smaller, the bitty one. And then after I've ink blended that, I will grab my third stencil and some spun sugar, and I line that one up as well. And these holes are a little tinier, and I just hold my stencil down and ink blend the spun sugar in there. And this set has 4 different stencils. The last stencil is the combination of all the dots in there. And for this particular project, I only used the first 3 stencils. I didn't use the last one. So you'll see I'm just finishing up with all these little dots here. And then I'll do the reveal, and it shows a very pretty, subtle background there. And then I'm going to use a piece of acetate that I have trimmed to 5.5 by 4 3/4. And then what I do is I score that at so that I have 1/4 of an inch on every side. And then I trim on an angle the corners off. And then I just use my bone folder to really bend those and fold over the side, because those little flaps are what I will be adhering to the back of the panel that I just created, the stenciled panel. So there you'll see I am just securing this down, because I have a very thick acetate, so it requires a very heavy hand with the bone folder. And then I have also trimmed down that stenciled background to an A2 size, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5, and then I just slide that into the back or into the acetate front, shaker front that I have just created. And then I will place tape on those little folded over sides on the back. So I will place the some tape on there, some double-sided tape on 3 sides actually. I leave the top open because that's where I'll pour my shaker bits in, so I leave it open for now. And then I just get that thin double-sided tape. And in hindsight, I probably should have added the double-sided tape to the acetate, and then it might have been a little bit easier to apply and also to get that release paper off. I'm kind of struggling here a little bit with that release paper. And I like to use tape here because it just, to use glue, just, it would take too long to dry, and you know, you want to be kind of quicker with this, or I do. I know I don't want to wait for the glue to dry forever, so I just use tape on here. And then the shaker blend that I'm going to use is a really pretty blend, and I chose it to match it's to match the color palette. So the colors of the stenciled background are the colors that are in the shaker blend, and it's from Doodles Paper Playground, and it is a really fun blend. It has pinks and blues and some snowflakes, so it's a pastel kind of snowflake blend. Again, going with the non-traditional colors. And you'll see I've left that little pouch open at the top, and then I pour it into a little tray, and that makes it a little easier to pour it into the shaker. And then I seal off the top so that no shaker bits can escape. And this is a really easy shaker to do, and it, you know, packs a real nice punch because you get a whole lot of shaking of the shaker bits, if that makes any sense. And then I will use a combination of glue and double-sided tape to adhere the panel down onto a top folding A2 size. So again, A2 is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I just get the release paper off, and then I adhere that shaker onto the front of my card. And there we have it. So we have a full panel shaker card, and that's the first one I've ever made. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. And then to add a little bit to that, my sentiment is Merry Christmas, and that sentiment is from the Line Reindeer, and I use it on a banner die from my stash, and I just stamped that in the tumbled glass Distress Oxide. And I don't like using the glue on the acetate, so I will use the double-sided tape, and I just adhere that onto the front of the shaker. And then once I have that tape figured out, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting the release paper off, but I place the banner on there, and then I feel that it needs just a little something extra, so I pulled out some silver kind of bubbles, flatback, silver metallic kind of pearls that are flatback, and I use my adhesive glue to adhere those on, and I just think that finishes it off quite nicely. And this is a Barely Art glue, and what I like about this glue is that it dries clear, so, and non-tacky. So if you end up getting a little bit around the little pearl, then you know you can't tell, you can't see it on there, because again it's clear and non-tacky. So I think this turned out quite nice. Thanks for visiting, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and come back again. Thanks.